good, everybody? It's your girl, Miss Giselle, and this is the Black Table Conversations with Miss Giselle. And today we have Miss Jackie Winter in the building, the real estate guru, and we're gonna be talking black and real estate. So how you feeling? You can say hey to everybody.
Hi everyone, how are you? Hi Miss Giselle.
Hey now. So how you been? Thanks for joining us this weekend. We actually
Of
had
course.
a beautiful time in DC. Now
Oh yeah,
we
love
there
DC.
to demonstrate in front of the White House. We came together collectively because we're demanding our reparations from Joe Biden and the powers that be. So with
That's
that
right.
said, this was just like a couple of steps. We've been marching across the country, starting with reparations over everything, with Kevin
Okay.
Lane, who runs that organization on the West Coast, all the way
Right.
down to Atlanta with the millennials. And then up here, the DMD crew, reparationists, we set it off. This is our second time setting it off in the last 2 months, 3 months. So
That's nice.
with that said, that's just how we do. And it's many more to come.
That's right.
Now,
We had a good time.
yeah, it absolutely was. And what would I want everybody to know about you? Like, tell us about you.
I have been in real estate for the last 22 years, but not as a real estate agent. I started out buying and flipping on my own. I had a real estate agent, her name is Nadia, that kind of mentored me from the very beginning. And, I followed suit. And while I was doing that, flipping, I was very trustful of her because I had a job at the time and I was traveling internationally because I worked for a major computer company that I was responsible for international sales and procurement, which meant that I was responsible for manufacturing different SKUs for different international retailers around the world. So I would travel around the world, and while I was doing that, she would find something for me, and if she thought it was something good, I trusted her enough to proceed even without me there. And this is before we had our forms and everything uploaded on the computer. We had to long form it. So I would leave her a check pre-signed, and then she would just do it for me. So I trusted her, and she steered me in the right direction. So I did that for years, and then when I decided to leave corporate America, I decided to go into the real estate space as an agent as well. So that's how I became a real estate agent.
Well, I tell you one thing, that's an amazing story because we do see. I always admire Black women in real estate. It's just something. I always thought we just look so dope in those spaces. I have a friend locally. She just
Uh-huh.
make it look so dope and stylish. Her name is Jaquetta. She has an awesome real estate space here in Baltimore, and like I love how she just like she kind of you know how on Facebook and everything she just shows herself.
Sure,
I love her like how her energy is. I can see why
sure,
she's in that
sure,
space. Same thing for you. You have that like welcoming and trusting personality. So I can see how this was definitely your space. Now,
sure.
now in addition to that, you also are an activist as well as, and you speak out on a lot of things. So being Black in real estate and not only just being Black as a woman, but I mean being Black, but being Black and a woman.
And a woman,
Real
yep.
estate. Let's talk about it.
Sure. Well, it's not easy because you're getting it from both sides, meaning you're getting doubt from your own people who think that you only know Black neighborhoods, and then you're getting doubt from particularly white clients who think you don't know any other neighborhood besides where you quote unquote come from, which is completely not true. You get doubt from your branch managers who they see right through you when you get calls when they get calls from someone saying they're interested in listing their home. They're not even thinking about you as being an extension of their office and the brokerage firm. So it's almost it's a pressure that particularly, well, it's maybe a tad easier for Black women. It's very hard for Black men, but it goes hand in hand. You're always having to prove yourself, even if you've done successful work, for 22 years. I have had people that I've known for years and know what I do, and they're Black, who feel that I should pay them a part of my commission to work with them. And I do not pay anyone to work with me. If you don't want to work with me, you can move on. I've had people who, say, oh, yes, they want to work with you. And then they work with somebody else. They think that because you're Black, no, you're not going to get the well-rounded response from the buying pool or from the agents, and that's completely not true. It's just a mindset that I have been voicing my opinion about, even in my brokerage firm, and has seen some changes, but some of the old adages are still the same. They're never going to see you in that light, and you're gonna have to create your own light. And I always tell Black agents that you're not in this for the long run. You're not in this to get accolades from anyone in your brokerage firm. You need to get in there and start owning your own properties, owning your own stuff. Get in there, because that's going to be your foundation to build from now until forever. So you're making money to just enhance your legacy. If you're going in there to get accolades and want to move up, forget it. You're never going to. I mean, not that you never, but it's chances are pretty slim.
Wow. Well, I tell you one thing that's interesting, because it's so many things that you guys have against you, but you make it look so good. So, right, we're gonna take a quick break, a quick commercial break, and then we're gonna come back in and we're gonna talk about how you've been overcoming those hurdles and how you're encouraging other people to come in this field so that we can neutralize those.
Sure.
So, with that said, we'll be right back, guys.
Sure. Sure.
And we are back. We have Miss Jackie Winters, and we're going to jump right back in where we left off at. So, what would you do to encourage more women? Like, what's your goal with that? I know you say you want to encourage more women and men of African descent, Black people, Black Americans, all of us, to start owning, like getting into the real estate industry. Like, tell us the basics.
Well, I mean, to get into the real estate industry, it's a lot of work. I would tell people that if you're going to start out as a real estate agent, keep a job first, because you're not going to make money like this right away. And if that's the only sole source of income, that shouldn't be. It should be something that you do part-time to build yourself up while you're working, because you need to live. And if you've got a spouse or significant other that's willing to support you, then that's fine. But it's consistency. It's constantly networking. It's constantly learning. You're learning even after 22 years. Listen, with globalization right now, everything is AI. And so, everything is now on the computer. Imaging is everything. People are, showcasing properties on YouTube. You've got companies that want to take agents out of the equation and just make it completely machine. But you know what? that's not going to work, because when you're talking about someone's largest investment in their life, you want a people to people one-on-one kind of relationship. You don't want to be talking to a bot or just random people. You know what I mean? You want to have a person that's knowledgeable. And so for an agent, it's important to stay on top of your game, stay on top of your market, know what works, what's not going to work, and be a full service agent. If you could be a full service agent, which is a lot of hard work, do not believe what you see on HGTV and all those other stores. Oh, we look at beautiful homes and they drive around in nice cars. Half the time they're not even selling those places, and that is not what goes on. Transactions are never fun. It is hard, and when you're dealing with people and their money, it can be emotional. So you have to be a good purveyor of people and personalities, and and really practice emotional empathy and some kind of strategic intelligence.
I agree. All around people person, pretty much.
Yes.
And the service matters.
Oh
now,
yeah.
now, one thing that what would you suggest, even career wise? I think it's still an awesome and very lucrative career. Like it's a lifetime career, and I'm with you. I don't even like talking to robots when I call into a store. I mean, you
Sure.
call into like Amazon or somebody. I don't like talking to robots.
Yeah.
You're calling a bank. I'm like, I'm always pushing to get to the person. Now I
Sure.
do like going online. I can see where that can come into play. But I really like when I want a direct answer, I don't want to talk to a robot to get it. It's just
No, not at all. You want an answer right away.
right.
And when you're dealing with people's money, they want answers right away.
Absolutely. Now, with that said, what would you say to people who are, uh, well, we already said for that part, just young and have the flexibility to even go into this market? Maybe not married, maybe like 18, because we kind of want to position youth to start looking at different careers. If they don't want to go to college, you can become a real estate agent. You do have to have a certain level, well, a huge level of customer service, but it is a good area to start looking at. What would you say to like kids that's getting out of high school, or our young adults who haven't actually gone off to college?
Some
Things like
advice that I would give them is, if they're thinking about being a real estate agent, I would say start doing your homework, meaning go to different open houses, talk to different agents, see how they do their things, ask questions, see if there's someone that maybe you could mentor under them to learn, and just observe. Start looking online and seeing how people, how to present a house and how not to present a house. Sometimes a home needs to be staged, and learn that business too. Learn how to market. Take some marketing courses. Watch some of the HGTV transformations, and how, if you could sell a house at a certain amount of money without it being staged, but if you had sellers had spent money to stage it, how it could actually add maybe 30% onto the sale price. And start doing your homework and seeing what you could do. Work in a brokerage firm, just to observe, to see if you like it, because it's not a glamorous job. It's a lot of work.
that is a fact. You work 24/7. I know this personally. You're always like you don't put it down. That's why
No,
you make it look good. And that's
no, thank
people
you.
don't always know the weight behind the look. that
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of things I have to improve, like my marketing and stuff like that. I
right.
have to improve, but I go by referrals a lot. And but again, I have not really relied on real estate sales to be my sole. I mean, I have a property management company. I manage 19 properties.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to take some courses to get my designations for commercial. I'm studying to become a receiver in receivership. And I'm also investing. I'm actually investing in Baltimore, so I'll be in Baltimore a lot next year with a group of people.
I love it. I absolutely love it. That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. And you keep going. And this,
yeah,
guys, this is what we're talking about. Is we're out here, we're doing it, and we keep going. We're knocking down those barriers. We're fighting for our reparations.
sure.
But we're still out here, we're moving and we're going. Now, is there anything that you would like to leave with the people? Like, is this a
Well, I just wanted to say that some of the things that are happening right now to Black people in this country, those that are homeowners looking to refinance, and those that are prospective buyers who may be under contract or in escrow, and their bank calls appraisers, we're facing now this weapon, this appraisal weapon that they're doing to devalue our properties because we're Black. We're facing facts that a house that's owned by a Black person to be refinanced, the valuation came in low. And then what people don't seem to realize is that you have the right to ask for a second appraiser. Okay. And what happens during that second, before the second appraisal, they de-Black their house and put a white friend there as if they're the homeowner. And then all of a sudden, the house's value goes up, maybe not only up, but higher than expected. We're seeing that even our Black homeowners, qualified home buyers, are being discriminated against. We're asking for the National Association of Realtors to do their job and make sure that every state has a fair housing addendum in their contract. A lot of them don't. I don't know what the National Association of Realtors have been doing, but they need to be doing their job. And if they're not, they need to move out and let people who understand what's going on out there in those spaces in their office to make a difference. We are being discriminated against as renters, even with our good our credit profile. And I want to leave them with, if you can't afford to buy something on your own, find one or two other people that together, if you guys are fiscally smart and on the same page, buy together. It's better to own together than not own at all. You know what I'm saying? If you cannot afford a home, one of the best ways to get into the entree is to buy a mobile home. They're cheaper and more affordable. You can own a mobile home or buy one to rent it out, and that will help build your portfolio. So those are a few tidbits. What else can I say? Know your rights. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to say that you're not satisfied, or be very clear what you want to look for in a property, because sometimes agents that are not Black are going to put you in just a Black area. So you want to be able to be treated with fairness and to be treated with respect, because your credit worthiness that you earned and the money that you have as down payment did not come easy. There was no magic dust to it.
Absolutely. I understand that. That's how I felt when I bought my first property. I'm like, I did not, I was like 23. I didn't know exactly what I was doing. I knew a lot, but not exactly what I was doing. But
I also want to say, for first time buyers, if it's prudent, it would be prudent of you to buy an income property, a 2, 3, or 4 unit building. You can always live in one, and you can always rent out the others and build, and never sell any of your properties. Build on that, build your portfolio. Your first property 20 years ago should still be in your portfolio.
I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, guys, this is the Black Table. And we're going to thank Miss Jackie for joining us today and dropping.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, anytime. And I know in the spring is like a good time for you guys. So I may have you back season 3.
Well, I'm in California. We have good weather all the time.
I know I'm a hater. I'm such a hater.
But you know what? In the wintertime, sometimes a lot of people have that mindset, oh, I won't list until after the winter. Sometimes it's good to list in the winter because not a lot of inventory.
Oh, wow. So you'll get.
So I would say list in the winter, get your property right. Also, anybody who's listing a property, do a pre-listing inspection, because if you do a pre-listing inspection, if there's any glaring thing that comes out of the property, you can get ahead of it and fix it, or get ahead of it and put it as a credit. Okay, you do a pre-listing inspection so that right. So if you're going to sell the house, there's no surprises. You have fixed all the issues.
Right.
Get your physical inspection, your roofer, your sewer, your electrical, all of that, so that when you put up for sale, the house is ready for prime time.
Love it. With that said, Miss Jackie, again, thank you so much for dropping those jewels. And again, guys, this is the Black Table. Until next time, peace, love, and reparations.
Peace, love, and reparations. Bye-bye.